My name is Simon Keir. I'm the Assistant Director for Online Learning at Nord Anglia Education. Nord Anglia Education is an international schools company. We have 87 schools in 32 countries. We have about 10,000 to 11,000 teachers working for us and about 6,000 professional staff supporting the schools. Docebo offers a new way of looking at a learning platform. It differs from traditional LMS platforms in the way it surfaces content, surfaces opportunities for learners to engage with each other and with the content. I think the thing that most excites me about the Docebo Learning Platform is the way that the Docebo team builds on past successes and has a highly innovative roadmap. And that for us is very, very important. What I found with Docebo is the technical roadmap aligns with the ambitions of our company very well. And what I've really appreciated in my position is the way that Docebo listens to its customers, listens to its clients, and shapes the final delivery of the product for the client and not for the Docebo company. We've been involved and are involved in a number of beta projects, and these have been highly successful. And I've seen the way that the product owners have shaped the offer prior to going to market based on the feedback of my team and other clients. I find that extraordinarily powerful in a relationship or a partnership with a vendor. This is far more than a vendor-client relationship, I feel. So the Docebo platform makes life easier, as all other platforms do, in the delivery of learning, in the way that we can reach thousands of people and we can report on thousands of people. What I particularly find valuable about Docebo in this respect, though, is around, for me, the reporting capabilities. I think these are very powerful and improving, as we've seen with the new insights development occurring in the platform. I also think it's easier for us to establish contacts with our 87 schools through channels, which I think is a particular strength of Docebo. We have very exciting plans for the future that I think will build on these. Our future plans with Docebo involve integration with our SuccessFactors HR system. We are in the beta for the Learner Communities project with Mikhail and his team. And we're also in the process of using the Connect API to integrate with Microsoft Outlook. So these are 3 example projects happening this year. And these are things that we've identified as things that our learners want. They're not for our benefit, they're for our learners. So our future plans for Docebo are really around enhancing that learner community of practice, social learning model in a way that we have only really touched on so far with success, but really only touched upon. The integration with SuccessFactors, which is new to us, but obviously probably more common in other companies, will give us demographic data in NAU that we haven't had before. And with that, we will be able to shape that personalized learner journey that we've worked on or keep working on all the time. We want each of our learners to feel individual and each of them to get out of the platform what it is they want. And then thinking further down the road, we are very excited by the developments with AI in Docebo. Initially with Shape, of course, but actually further down the road, the large language model and the generative AI capabilities of the platform once we have these integrations in place. To summarize, we are laying the ground for what we think will be an extremely exciting 3 or 4 years for our learners. Docebo for Microsoft Teams is very exciting for us. We were part of the beta testing 18 months ago. We were very excited at the time. And once it was released, we were able to procure it more or less as it came out. Since then, we found the integration between our Microsoft Enterprise tenancy and the Docebo platform to be straightforward, relatively easy. I've got a great technical team that were able to manage it from our side. And in beta testing with some internal users, it really did show some powerful results. Overwhelmingly, our test users internally found value in Docebo for MS Teams, the ability to engage with their learning plans, the ability to engage with prescribed courses, and the ability to search the main platform catalog, as well as share courses. Where we see this having the most impact is in the offer we can make to our functional colleagues rather than our teacher colleagues. So, as with any company, we spend a lot of time in MS Teams, and the idea to just dip into the app and do a little bit of training, or if someone shares a course with you, a 5-minute course, you say, why don't you do this over your lunch hour? Absolutely fantastic. It removes that psychological issue of bouncing from one platform to another, which we all know about. When it comes to deployment, we're going to pilot it with our UK-based professional colleagues, probably about 300 or 400 of them. We're going to ask them to do specific things, but really we just want them to also enjoy it and test it and take it on the road for us and tell us ways that we can harness that within our strategic thinking for the wider company. So yes, very excited about Docebo for MS Teams. We have a number of feedback mechanisms and regular metrics that we assemble on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. The feedback from our users on the Docebo platform generally has been strong. They appreciate the way learning is delivered. They appreciate their learning plans. They appreciate the way that we have engineered the navigation on our particular platform in a way that suits them through mega menus and so on. They really like the ability to come in whenever they want and just undertake the learning that they choose to do, to create their own learning plans, to share these in their channels. For example, teachers in their school channel will locate something and say, hey guys, have a look at this, and then pop it into their channel. So feedback generally has been very strong and very favorable. Feedback on the content, the stuff we actually present to them, has also been good. Every year we run an annual NAU survey, which asks questions about the UX, user experience, asks questions about the type of content, the preferred ways of learning. And we also ask them to think about next year and what they'd like to see, what are their priority areas. And what we've seen over the last few years is an increase in satisfaction around the overall Docebo experience. We're always iterating, we're always developing. There are always things that we can do that suit our particular use case. But overall, feedback is strong, is good. In our company, the measurement of impact is probably slightly different. So our platform only has 2 compliance courses or mandatory courses. The rest are all voluntary. And our engagement rates every month are very, very high. We offer professional learning. We offer the chance for all our staff, all our colleagues to come in and undertake professional learning that they want to undertake. At present, there isn't a huge amount of alignment to particular business needs, other than we believe we've got the best teachers in the world and we want to give them the best professional learning opportunities in the world. Having said that, we recently launched another Docebo product called Docebo Learning Impact, which is a fantastic impact measurement tool done through surveys, an initial survey and then a follow-up survey 90 days later. We've assigned DLI to our leadership courses, which we believe have the most impact in schools and in functions in changing the way people think and lead within those functions. And we wanted to know, has this leadership training had an impact in your day job? We've just got our first results back from 2 of our leadership courses, the middle leaders and senior leaders programs. And in both cases, we got an initial anticipated impact from users of around 84, 85 out of 100. And on the 90-day follow-up, when they've had a chance to try their new strategies out and see how their learning has embedded itself in their roles, the score was similar. It was about 84, 83 out of 100. So anticipated impact and real impact were directly comparable, which for us was extremely powerful. So those are the sorts of impact on business measures that we're looking at the moment. In the future, that may change. We may become more directly involved in measuring impact in particular functions or functional teams. But in terms of impact of professional learning, this is exactly the key data that we want. And I think what's really useful about DLI is the first time that I feel we've got that robust impact data that's not anecdotal, it's not heuristic, it's there in the numbers. And that's really powerful. We have a range of KPIs to measure our Docebo experience. We tend to focus on access, quality, and impact. So, access to the platform, the quality of the learning, and the impact of the learning on your day job. I use a number of engagement measures from monitoring monthly active users on a daily tracker. I take 2 readings a day, to monthly Power BI extractions around usage by school, by branch, based on the number of FTEs we know are in that school or branch. And that engagement data gives me a proxy for how valuable people find the platform. And it is only a proxy, but it's a valuable one. And certainly this last year has seen a phenomenal increase in engagement, to the extent that our first month of the academic year, obviously we work in academic years because we're an educational organization. So in September, we far exceeded our subscription and paid overage, which was a nice problem to have. And that trend has continued this year. We've seen 6 of our 9 months tracked so far at record levels. So that's engagement, and it tells us people are using the platform. In terms of quality, we're definitely seeing, as I mentioned before, feedback from the material that we're offering, feedback on particular courses. And then in terms of impact, this is an area we're developing. We have DLI, but we also have other measures that we want to introduce to really get to the nub of whether this offer is having the impact we think it should have. In terms of traditional ROI and so on, we're not necessarily focused on ensuring efficiencies in, for example, the HR team or the IT team at the moment, but this is all changing. We are, as a company, rolling out a new competency framework for all staff. Docebo is central to the delivery of that competency framework and the understanding around it. And we will see in time, over the years, as this framework becomes embedded, savings or efficiencies or even benefits to the wider company, that Docebo will be central in gathering, understanding, and analyzing. In terms of onboarding, we have about 1,200 new teachers who join us every summer. They're recruited from January onwards, appointed, and then they scatter across the world to their various schools and various regions to take up their posts. What Docebo offers these new teachers and new colleagues is a way to engage with the company within the platform at their own speed, at their own time, and get familiar with some of the key areas of the business, whether it's what the HR team does, what the MAC team does, some of the compliance courses, and a wider understanding of the ethos of the company. The process for getting these new starters onto the platform is relatively straightforward. It's managed by our IT services. But once they're in, every summer, I get fantastic feedback from our new and excited teachers who are in Docebo doing the courses, can't believe that they have access to all this and are really enjoying it. It's one of my favorite times of the year. And I think if we can get that bit right, the tone, the familiarity, the content, then we will keep those people as learners for as long as they're with us. Having said that, onboarding can always be improved, and we are looking at our processes now, particularly in light of the integration with SuccessFactors, and how we can improve and streamline it even further. In terms of educational compliance and accreditation requirements, we have one course that is mandatory for all staff. You won't be surprised to know that this course is safeguarding for children. We are an educational organization with 87 schools. Absolutely, this is the priority. We ensure that all staff have completed their safeguarding compliance training prior to being in a classroom. What Docebo allows us to do, and has done for a while now, is to offer a training program that could be less than engaging, but actually is a terrific course. This year, we've revamped the course to make it even better, but it also allows us to monitor those completions, tick off the compliance box for our regulatory bodies around the world, which are often national governments and obviously ministries of education in national governments, and to offer them the clarity around compliance that they absolutely demand. What Docebo has offered us is not only the reassurance that it can deliver this compliance training, but also allows us to offer it in a way that is engaging and has an impact, is worthwhile, is not just tick boxing.